morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, which lately has been a lot of crochet and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 191. It is Sunday, May 21st, 2023. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And if you really like what you see, I do have a super thanks button below. Very easy to click and give a little monetary tip, which of course is not ever expected, but when that happens, it's such a wonderful surprise. Anytime I get any kind of money like that, it does basically go straight back into the channel, because I do host at least monthly, sometimes more than once a month, but I do host Zooms, and I do pay for a Zoom subscription to be able to do that. So, so any money that I get pretty much goes back into that, and then any postage that I use for the channel. Yeah, if this is not your first time finding me, if you are one of my regular subscribers and you come back every week, thank you so much for coming by, spending this time with me. It means so much to me. Your views and comments and just your support of my channel really is a bright spot in my week, and I can't thank you enough for doing it. So, I said today is Sunday, May 21st. I don't really have a lot of life stuff to tell you this week. Those of you who have been watching me for a while know that my family is going to be moving next week. I think Wednesday is actually when they're hitting the road. Yesterday the movers came and packed up all their stuff, and they said goodbye to their stuff for like a month. And so they're in a hotel this weekend, or a motel. I don't know where they are, but I think my brother has to go back to the condo for like an hour or so today to finish some odds and ends, and then they are officially moving. They are going to be taking a month-long sort of fun and educational road trip across the US, and then ending up in Michigan, where they are going to I'm assuming they got an apartment for however long it takes them to find and purchase their forever dream home. So that is the plan for them. I will be going out to dinner with them tomorrow night to say goodbye. I'm sure it will be a little bit bittersweet. I'm trying not to think about the negative parts of it. You know, I will be, thanks to technology, I will be able to see them on a regular basis over Zoom and stuff like that. I don't know how long it will be before I see them again in person, but it won't be forever. And, you know, we don't know what the future will hold. So they're on an adventure. I'm trying not to be upset about it. And, you know, things will go on. So I'm trying to keep that kind of an attitude. But yeah, so that's happening with them. So that's happening next week. Oh, I do have a Zoom to tell you guys about next Saturday, which is the 27th. I will be doing a Zoom at 5 o'clock Pacific time. So anybody that would like to join me, all of the information should be in the description box below, so that you can jump on. I really enjoy being able to kind of get together online with friends and stitch and stuff like that. So that should be a good time. I hope to see as many of you as I can there. And what else? Oh, and then next Sunday, which will be really fun for me, something to look forward to, I'm going to be going out to lunch, I guess, afternoon lunch, with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin. She's probably one of my closest, physically closest stitching friends, and she and I have gotten to be really friendly through text and stuff too, and we've actually met in real life a couple times, so that's really cool. So we're going to be getting together next Sunday to maybe stitch. Last time we got together we just talked for like 4 hours. We didn't even stitch, but maybe we'll stitch this time and eat some Panera soup and have a good time. So that is something to look forward to. Like I said, I don't have a lot of life stuff to tell you. Nothing really very exciting happened this week. Weather-wise, it's supposed to cool off next week a little bit, which is good. It's going to be in the low 70s all week. supposedly we are definitely in that June gloom phase of Southern California weather, which means that it is like gray and foggy, kind of misty even, all the way up to about noon every day, and then it burns off and we usually have a lot of sunshine in the afternoons. So we're in that gray looking weather, misty, foggy weather right now, because it's only 9:30 in the morning. But it's been burning off. It was a little bit hotter last week than it's supposed to be next week. So as I said, it's supposed to go down to the low 70s. Fine by me. It can stay there all summer. It won't, but I wish it would. Okay, so let's get into it. I was very bird focused for some reason this week with my crafty stuff, which you'll see when I show you my projects. Not necessarily intentionally, but I had a project that came to mind and jumped on it, which you'll see. But before we get into that, I do have an FFO to show you. Shouldn't be a big surprise since I showed you the finished part last week, but I did finish my Biscornu. This is a lion. I called it Cute Lion. I don't know if it has any name other than Lion, but it's by Tiny Modernist. I did look at the Tiny Modernist YouTube video to just refresh myself on instructions on how to put it together. It was not difficult to put together. It's just whip stitching. You just have to make sure that you find the very middle of one of the sides and put the corner in the middle, and then basically whip stitch the edges. I stuffed it with fiberfill. I don't know if I stuffed it tight enough. I don't know. It feels a little like not firm enough. It was fun. I wanted to do Biscornu. I was talking to my friend Don Diva last year, and neither one of us had done a Biscornu, so we decided to do one together. And or do one at the same time, I guess. We did completely different patterns. But it was fun. I'm glad I did it because now I can say I've done a Biscornu. Am I gonna rush out and make another one? Probably not. I'm not really like a bunch of little pillows in a dough bowl kind of person. I don't have room for that. Not that I don't have crap everywhere, I do. But I'm not that country garden, put stuff in a dough bowl, little stitched kind of thing person. So it's fun. I think it's cute. I'm glad I did it. And, if I ever come across one that I am in love with, again, I know I can make it. But, I don't think I'm going to rush out and make another one. So, anyway, I am pleased with it. So that is my FFO. I finished my Biscornu. Yay. Okay, then whips. Let's get into whips. I have 4 stitching whips to show you this week. I did have a couple days this week. Well, I had a couple days where I basically did crochet and not stitching. Last Sunday, I was so annoyed. I was doing this crochet project, an amigurumi project that I'm making as a gift, and I was having trouble with it. Not the stitching, not the crocheting part, but the yarn that I got. It was an inexpensive yarn, and I got a set, which I've had no problem. I've gotten 3 like little sets of like little mini skeins of yarn like these. So they're little, right? That's one brand that I got. This is another one. And I got a third one because I was looking for a specific color. And I didn't have a flesh tone, and I needed a flesh tone for this amigurumi. And this little set that I got had the flesh tone, so I started on the head of this little amigurumi that I'm making. And this particular ball, and I don't know if all the balls in this set are going to be like this, but this one had 2 or 3 bad sections where the yarn is like 3 or 4 strands, you know, twist together like floss. But there were like these sections where one of the strands was like detached, and oh, it was horrible. I mean, it was fine to work with when it was good, but when I got to those sections, there was nothing I could do but like cut it out. And yeah, I ended up just scrapping the whole thing. I ordered a better ball of flesh colored yarn so that I can not hate the project immediately. So I worked on that on Sunday for quite a while, and then ended up just scrapping the whole thing, which was kind of disappointing. But you know, that kind of thing happens. Anyway, let's go back to the stitching for right now. So whips that I worked on this week, I did work on my mini flower kitty, which is a full coverage art by Jeremiah Kettner, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. And I'm doing this on 28 count, 2/1/10 stitch. Now I do have a question for you guys. One of my most popular demo videos that I've done, was I showed how I do my full coverage, how I do full coverage stitching, and I showed it on 2 projects, like one that was starting in the top corner going down, one in the bottom corner going up. Since then, I have started doing a lot of full coverage using tent stitch as on smaller count fabric, as opposed to like full cross. And I actually have, I have 2 or 3. I mean, I have them starting in different corners just because of the patterns. So I'm wondering if I should do another demo video, if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing me do, my tent stitch on full coverage. So let me know. Anyway, this is very confetti heavy and slow going, so I did about that much. And I say it every time, but I just love working on this. It's so pretty and it's so fun. The watercoloriness of it and everything. So I think 2 more diagonals and I'll hit the cat. So, as I said, I feel like this week, I mean, birds, because my theme this month is fur, feathers, and scales, so I feel like, you know, I mean, birds is part of it, right? But I was just really bird focused. So I have 2 more birds to show you, and a dragon, which I worked on the wings, so kind of still birdie. So I worked on my prickly owl this week. So this is a project that I started with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, just because she showed it and she was going to start it, and I'm like, hey, I have that, and it was a gift from another friend, Dawn Frisch from Arizona. So I thought that was kind of cool to, you know, have like a double friend project. Oops. Hold on. And so I worked a little bit more in the green. You can see I did these are the owlie's feet, and then started in the owl a little bit. And that is on a 14 count kit Aida, not this kit Aida. It was a kit Aida with another kit that was kind of blue, and then I still overdyed it to add some teal and give it a little bit of modeling. This came with like a cream kit Aida. I'm not into that, so I pulled it out. I'm sure we'll get dyed eventually for some other project, and I used that. So I never throw away the fabric that I pull out of kits. It's not that I don't like Aida. I do like Aida actually, and I just don't like white and cream kit Aida. I always want to do something else with it, so that is what I did. Yesterday I worked on my little Snapdragon. This is, it's designed by Diane Allaire by Custom Crafts. So cute. Now, I know I said that I was, I was going to, next time I worked on this, I was going to work on the flower part. But I ended up doing the wings because, as I said, I was so focused on birds this week, and I thought, well, that will be good to work on wings of my Snapdragon. It goes along with the bird focus this week. Oh, something's caught. What's caught? Oh, it's the tag on the fabric, so that's okay. Okay. So that is where I am. And what I did, yesterday is I basically did all of this top section of that wing. This little guy is so confetti heavy. It's kind of crazy. Like, there's so many colors just up in this little bit. I'm stitching this on a, I think it's a 16 count. No, it's an 18 count. It's an 18 count opal Aida, hand dyed by Rolanda. And it's really pretty fabric, I think. There's a couple places where it has like, you know, it's overall pink, right? Pink and white, but it has a couple places where it's got some other little modeling, and I just love those little spots. Colors in this, just very, very pretty. They're all green, blue, and purple. Green, blue, purple. So it's very much a color palette that I super enjoy. Okay, and then last but not least, as far as the stitching goes, I worked on the Cardinal for my friend Tracy. I'm doing this bird for her right now. This is my third bird that I am doing for her. Previously, she got chickadees and a blue jay. And then she also got a chipmunk from me and Stacy. And I actually finished the bird. The Cardinal is done. So now there's like another branch with 2 flowers over here. And this will be ready to be put in a... I use one of those rubbery, kind of like fake wood, but rubbery hoops for all of these bird finishes. I think they look good in that. And I like having the consistency. So yeah, this is gonna get done sooner rather than later, and maybe I will start another bird for her before the end of the year. I'm really glad that I changed, or I added a strand of a darker color to the dark red on this, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see the see it really at all. And I think now it looks really good. So this pattern, I've said this before, this little booklet that I got, the birds are way more simplistic than the first one I did, which was the chickadees, which was a crossed wing collection. So the next one that I choose, I'm going to do another crossed wing collection, because I do think, although these are cute, I think that the crossed wing collection just is a little bit, they just have a little bit more oomph to them. And so I just have to figure out which birds I'm going to do. I have a whole book of hummingbirds. I think that's what's going to be next. So I just have to figure out which one we're going to make. I don't think I want to make, like, I don't want to do like all of this flower stuff. So I don't know. This is nice because there's two birds. So maybe that. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about it. And then ask Tracy which birds she might be interested in getting, because she likes getting birds that are native to her area that she actually can see in her backyard. So it's kind of cool. Okay, on to crochet. So I have 3 crochet, well, I have 2 crochet whips to show you, and then a couple finishes, which I'm gonna save till the end a little bit. Okay. So, first, I've been working a bit this week on my basket, which is actually shaping up. Now, I put a piece of light, not even really cardboard, more like cardstock in the bottom to give it a little bit more structure, because I just felt like it needed it. This is probably going to be used to hold yarn. I am liking how it is coming out. I feel like it finally is actually looking like a basket and less like a blob. I'm on my last 4th skein, and that is going to be it. So however high this takes it is going to be it. And then it will hold a lot of yarn though, actually. So I feel like it's looking pretty good. And I've learned stuff with this. Like, I've learned like reasons why patterns say certain things, and I realized like I couldn't understand why it was, the designer was like, you know, when you get to the end of the road, do a, you know, turn. And then I realized, well, that makes a different pattern of the stitching, because you know, you've got like inside outside stitching. Which brings me to something else that I learned this week. So I was so I told you guys that I kind of got into the patterns from Megan Lapp, Crafty Intentions. This was the book that I got that kind of sparked this interest in these dragon and mermaid and stuff like that. And the patterns that I actually have done so far that I'm working on and that I finished, my mermaid, it's right here, my mermaid, are not in this book. They're Etsy patterns, but I just really love her aesthetic. And there is a Facebook group. So of course, you know, when I go on Facebook, I see posts and stuff like that from that group, and somebody was writing, and a lot of people write in like, okay, I'm having trouble with this pattern here, this pattern there, and you know, and get advice from sometimes even the designer herself. She answers, but other people are like, it looks like maybe you're doing XYZ, or it looks fine to me, or you know, just keep going, whatever the answer is. But somebody was having trouble, and somebody's answer was, it looks like you're stitching it inside out. And there is, so Megan Lapp Crafty Intentions also has a YouTube channel, which there's like maybe 20 videos, and they're all short. They're all about like maybe 10 minutes or so. And they're basically just instructional videos on how to do certain things that she puts commonly in her patterns. Like she uses what she calls short rows to create shaping on animals and, you know, things like that, like the chest of a dragon. And so she has like a video to show how when you see that weird thing in her pattern, how to do that, what that means. So that's the kind of thing that these videos are. And there is a video on what is the difference, you know, outside in versus inside out. And as she said, it doesn't matter on most things, but on amigurumi, where you need to fit pieces together, it does make a difference. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, and I had showed you guys before, I had kind of started making a newborn dragon, and I had the body like half done. So I took a look at it. Sure enough, it was inside out. So I had to turn it. That was a challenge, you guys, turning this little dragon body. First of all, I had already partially stuffed it, so I had to unstuff it. And it has this little skinny tail, so I had to, turning it took a while. And I think I may have stretched out the tail and everything, but whatever. So I finished the head and body. So, yeah, he has no legs, he has no ears, he has no wings yet. But I did finish the body after I turned it. I did wire him. So I couldn't get the wire to go all the way to the end of the tail. So the wire, I mean, I tried and tried and tried, and I wire ends around there, but I figured that's okay. And then, so I have to decide what kind of legs I want, because she has all these different leg positions. So you can have him sitting or standing, or, you know, standing up and like, you know, kind of like begging like a dog and all these kind of things. So I have to decide. I think I'm going to do like the simplest, like the straight legs, back legs and front legs, because then you can kind of position him sitting up with his front feet down. But see, this is a shaping thing that you have to do. So there's weird shaping here and weird shaping here. So I know he looks very weird right now with, and I need to trim that because there's a little sticking out bit. But, you know, I mean, he's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I still think he's coming out pretty cute, and I am very excited about him. You know, and he is wired, so I can curl his tail in different ways. Anyway, so there we go. That's my newborn dragon without legs or wings yet, but I still think he's pretty cute. And I learned something about making sure that my my stitches are going the right way. First of all, what she's saying is that when you are stitching, that you should be stitching from the outside in. So when you put your crochet hook in, you're going from the outside in. So if you're going from the inside out regularly, then you're stitching it inside out. And also that outside stitches are little V's, and inside stitches, they're little straight. You'll see little straight stitches, and you won't see straight stitches if you're stitching it on the outside out. Did that make sense what I said? Okay, so then the last thing that I worked on, this was like something that just, sorry, I'm fussing with my hair because it's bugging me today. That's the bad thing about being able to see myself, is I can also be overly futzy with my appearance. Okay, so I was texting with Julie, and we had made plans to meet next week, and that got my brain going. So Julie, if you watch her channel, and you should watch her channel because she's very entertaining, and Julie is the most prolific stitcher. She's got so many projects, and she stitches absolutely beautifully. Way better stitcher than I feel like I am. But, you know, I don't really compare myself to people, you know. But she's the one, she encouraged me to get into Chatelaine. She's, you know, she's that monster who did all that to me. But anyway, so Julie and her husband and her son have 4 large birds. Occasionally they've shown them on their channel, but you know, not a lot of times, but she does talk about her birds, and she loves her birds. She loves stitching bird things. So so I texted her because I had in my head, I got this thing in my head like I should make little amigurumi parrots for her as just a little hey friend gift. And I have no chill. I have absolutely zero chill. So I did text her and said, what kind of birds do you have? I have a reason. And she told me the birds. I looked them up to make sure that I was doing the right colors and everything. And then, of course, as soon as I made one, I had to text her and show her. So I've made 3 of them so far. I have 1 more to make before next week. So she has, oh, am I going to remember? So she has a hyacinth macaw, which is blue, basically mostly blue, and it has yellow around the eyes and the beak. She has an African gray, which is like kind of 2 shades of gray. It has kind of white around its eyes. It has a red tail. She has a female something eclectus. There's another word in there, but I don't remember what it is. And she said it's important that you know it's a female because the males and females in that species of bird are different colors. So the females are red and like blue or purple. And then she has a white crested cockatoo, or a yellow crested cockatoo, which is a white bird with a yellow floofy thing on its head and a little bit of yellow tint like in its face and stuff. So anyway, okay, so I did these birds. These are goofy little birds. They're not like, they're goofy, but she says she doesn't care. She likes it. So she likes them. She's excited to see them. I haven't done anything with them as far as like putting them on a pin or mounting them on anything, because I figure she's going to want to decide how she's going to display them. So, you know, and she knows how to stitch, so she can sew them to a thing or she can glue them to a thing herself after she decides how she wants to do it. So I've done 3 of them. So the first one is the hyacinth macaw. See, they're goofy. They're like, you know, but somehow it works, I think. So that's the hyacinth macaw. This is the African gray. And this was the first one I did, and honestly, in some ways I think it came out the best. This is the eclectus. So this is part of her mini flock. I still have to do the cockatoo, but those will be going to Julie next week. And I think they're cute. They're definitely not perfect. They're definitely, you know, I'm learning things as I do things, but I do think that they turned out pretty cute. And it was fun to make them for a friend who is into the birds. So that is why I said that was very bird focused. I have to find something to put them in to keep them safe on the travels. Maybe, yeah, this is a little glasses thing. So I have to do, as I said, I have the cockatoo left to do, which is basically going to be all white, and then with the gray beak and feet. But I have to figure out how to make the crest thing. So that's something I'm just going to have to experiment and figure out on my own, because, you know, that's not something that's part of this little pattern that I found. I should probably tell you in case you're interested. This was a free pattern that I found. It is by With Love Felly. Can you see that? With Love Felly. that is about it. Yeah. I don't have any haul, which is good. Be proud of me. I did not spend any money on crafting in the last couple weeks, except for that yarn I said that I bought. So I lied. But it's not here yet. But I did get another like $5 bottle, $5 skein of flesh colored yarn that is on its way. But yeah, but other than that, no haul. So next week is more of the same. And then the week after that, we're getting into a new month. So I have to figure out what my projects are going to be for June. I think my June like focus is fantastic fireworks, which I chose so that I can maybe get my Stars and Stripes Forever finished. And I think I'll pull out the Rainbow Twisted Band Sampler, that project, and then my Chatelaine. That all kind of fits into the fireworks mode for me. So yeah, so those definitely are going to be the top of the list, and then I don't know what else. But I think that's about it. This is a little bit of a shorter video this week, which is just fine. I don't have a ton of plans for today. I mean, I have a list of chores that I should get done. Reality is I probably will spend most of the rest of my day crafting and resting and watching movies. And maybe I'll get a little bit of stuff done. I actually there's no dishes in my sink, so that's good. Well, actually there are a few, but I did the dishes, so there's just a couple left in there. But I have to empty the dishwasher and then I can put those in. So that'll get done. Yeah, so I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope the weather is cooperating for you. You know, some people, summer is their favorite. Some people, summer is their least favorite. I do not like it when it gets hot. I've said this 100,000 times. It messes with my sleep. It messes with my blood sugar. So yeah. So, and you know, I'm dealing with, I don't want to say the loss of my family, because it's not like, you know, they're fine. They're great. They're going on an adventure. It's just they're not going to be anywhere near me. So I'm learning to deal with that. But, you know, it's all going to be good. We have technology, right? You know, it's not like it was when people would travel across the world and then never see their family again for the rest of their lives. It's not going to be like that. And in fact, my brother's supposed to be out here in September, so I guess my goal is to get my apartment looking really good so that he can come over and hang out with me here in September. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great week. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.